Welcome back to Big Red Rant. Not to gloat, but Gary and I both predicted a loss, and it happened. It is unfortunate, but Gary, I think it's safe to say after our conversations post game that we both feel like there was more good to take away from this game than bad. And if you don't believe us, that's fine. I promise it's not cope. If we were liars, we would have told you that we thought the Huskers were going to beat Michigan in the first place. We both really feel good about this game in totality. But you do feel like Nebraska got exposed. Gary, can you explain that thought?
I feel like they got exposed, but I feel like what we were worried about is what got exposed. It wasn't like we had false hope after Cincinnati and then Akron and Houston Christian, and it was like, oh, we're good at, for example, pass defense. Like we're good at covering receivers, and then we play a Michigan team that goes out and torches our DBs. That didn't happen. Secondary's still good. Secondary can still cover, can still make it tough for quarterbacks to pass. I mean, we had people saying that Underwood was a better passer than Raiola, and with less than half the amount of pressure that Raiola had, he had way worse passing numbers. So like that was a positive. But the run defense, the quarterback run game, protection of Raiola, offensive line, third down, fourth down, goal line, those types of things we were worried about. That's one of the main things I brought up why I expected a loss. Most of those things you had the same stance on as well. And that's what beat you. I mean, you can specifically narrow it down to the run defense. If the run defense doesn't allow three big run plays that turn into touchdowns, you're looking at them scoring 6 points. Obviously, they scored more because they just ground out some of those drives a little longer, but that's all fixable. You know, if we watch this game and we get blown out because they're so much more bigger and physical than us on the offense and defensive lines, which they were, but if that's the only reason you lose, it's like, damn, man, every team that has better and bigger and more physical offensive and defensive linemen than you is going to do work to you. You just saw that's not the case. Like you're still in it. You lost by three with that being the situation, but you can clean up horrible tackling. Guys over pursuing and then diving and leaving their feet and not breaking down and wrapping up and driving through a guy, not having an answer for what to do. You have no trouble getting into the red zone and then you can't convert. Everything has to become a field goal, or you're left with a decision. Do we try to keep going or do we kick here? That stuff can be fixed. You can figure out some kind of an identity or something that works, or how to manipulate the defense as a, depending on what it is. If it's built like Michigan, if it's built like, more like we are with smaller, more athletic people and a lot of stunts and twists and things. But I just feel like you're not really going to be able to make the offensive line better this season. You're not going to be able to get bigger and more physical on in the fronts on either side. But all of the other things and all the other reasons you lost are super fixable. All of this being said, the special teams still kind of let you down. Like you didn't kick the one field goal on the first drive. Okay, maybe you can argue they should have done that when you lose by a field goal. But the next drive, he kicks a field goal and shanks it. So it's like that was a big emphasis in the offseason. It was a big emphasis since last season when special teams was so bad. Ja'Cory Barney, after he caught that one bounced, I think it was a punt at that time, and then broke it a little bit and had a decent return, over aggressive, tried doing the same thing inside the 5, you get stuck at the 2. I mean, those are still gaps. You're still kicking some of the balls out of bounds in earlier games. So, but again, that's fixable, and you've already seen improvement from the special team. So, like, it sucks because some of those things, I guarantee, like the players even and the coaches are going to watch film and go, "God damn, dude! As many gaffes and errors and stuff as we had, we still had a real chance of winning this game." But all of those things are fixable, and you got a bye week coming up. You got 2 weeks to work on it. Then you got Michigan State. It's not like you're going to play in Penn State or Ohio State next. You got Michigan State, who's you got to be ready to go. They're not a cakewalk by any stretch, but they're not on Michigan's level, right? So I'm not all doom and gloom about it. It was about the outcome I expected for the reasons I expected, mainly the lack of run defense. And like I said, man, if you shore that up even a little bit, you at least give yourself a much better chance. Not saying you guarantee you're going to win, but you definitely give yourself a better chance. So most of it's not unfixable things, or you have to wait till an off season to get new staff or personnel. It's just it sucks, man, because it was right there, and it was a hell of a roller coaster ride as far as emotions go. Between, oh, we got a real shot, the game's over. Oh, we're back in it, all the game's over. Like it was a fun game, but I think it was. I hate saying it out loud, but as far as a good loss can be, I think it was a good loss because you didn't get embarrassed, you didn't get humiliated, but you got exposed on the things that need to be fixed, and they're all fixable things other than upgrading the lines or doing something like that. But the things that got you are very fixable things, and you have a bye week. You got 2 weeks essentially to work on it. So I feel like there's some silver lining. I hate the moral victory talk or whatever, but I mean, in this situation, I think it's legit.
Yeah, I'm coming away from this game very positive. I hate to say that because I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And I'm notoriously a very sore loser. I am one of those people that doesn't handle it very well. So it's kind of weird for me to not be that upset, but I can't remember where I heard this, but happiness is when expectations meet reality. And for me, my expectations met reality. We're a better team. We're better coached. We're more talented. We are clearly moving in the right direction in our rebuild, but we didn't have flat out enough strength on either side of the line. And so I can accept that because I knew it was coming. And like you said, it's fixable. It's on its way to getting better. We have, I believe, the third best recruiting class in the country right now. That involves some linemen. Some linemen were there today. I think they're going to see this game and think, if I do decide to come to this program, I'm kind of all they are missing. And then the same could be said for the D line. Man, they just need some more muscle up front. That could be me, and I can have all of this, the greatest fans in college football, some of the best athletic facilities in college football, unbelievable game day experience for every home game and several away games, even bigger sometimes in away games. So I'm just not upset about this game, man. I'm just not. And I refuse to be. This video is brought to you by Profit X. Football's finally back, and this season we're using Profit X as our go-to for season-long plays and player props. Profit X is America's #1 sports prediction market, where you can win real money predicting sports in 40-plus states. It's awesome because you get better odds than traditional sports books because you're playing against other people and not the house. With Profit X, you can request your own odds, play with confidence, and get super quick payouts straight to your bank, card, or even crypto. And here's the best part. If you sign up at ProfitX.co or download the app and use promo code RANT, you'll get up to $200 in Profit X cash on all your plays for the first 30 days. Sign up now at ProfitX.co or download the app and start winning real money predicting sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Where I am disappointed is with the huge gaps, especially the run defense, the lack of offense in the red zone and short downs and stuff. You're still pretty close to having a chance of winning that game, at least being tied at the end of the game, right? So if you can go from a program that loses games you're not supposed to lose, being in close games you're supposed to win, things like that. If you can go from that to having no answer for the run and giving up huge plays, not having an answer for yourself when you're in the red zone, and you still beat a ranked team that is a year and a half removed from a title. To me, now you're jumping ahead in the process. You know what I mean? And I was really holding on to that. Like, God, it'd be so nice to play a game where there's huge gaps, the offensive line, the other things I already said, and still get a win. Now you're on the other side. You know what I mean? For so long, we were on the side of talent wise and recruiting class wise and all this other stuff. We're supposed to be better than all these teams, yet we can't beat them. Or we eke out against the really bad teams. We eke out a loss against the teams that are at or just a little below our level. To play a team that on paper is better than you, ranked, all that, play a worse game than them, have these huge holes, and pull out a win, I would have been ecstatic. But it is what it is. You can't really be legit if you skip ahead and jump ahead. But it's the things being fixable gives me a lot of hope and like kind of comfort in this loss.